Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we are looking at a new headphone from a company called Toucans, and this was sent to me from my review. And I've had some good times with these actually now, and I can actually get into the review and I will tell you more about them. Um, at the, Near the middle of the video, or maybe the end or whatever, somewhere I'm going to show you a shot of. Actually, I'll put it in the thumbnail of how these are actually packaged in the box. The presentation and the box itself is really impressive and it's really nice. And in a nutshell, I want to get into the headphone. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I like to try to wrap these videos up in 15 minutes or less. I know you're busy and I don't want to keep rambling, and it's very tough for me not to, but I will try my best here. So the model is called 2-1, and right here, as you can see, 2-1, the number 2, and then 1. And there's a reason for that because they have this feature, and I know you've seen this feature on other headphones. We'll get into the differences between these headphones and those headphones in just a short. You got your 3.5 millimeter there, and you have your 1/4 inch adapter right there. Jack, I mean. So you don't need the adapter. I don't know why you would actually put the adapter in there even if you did, but this doesn't come with it because you don't need it. It comes with the cables. And we'll get into the cables. And put that over there before that falls over. It comes with these two cables, which I did use both of these cables, but I have my own cables because everything's already plugged into the amplifiers and stuff. So I put these back in the bag. But as you can see, there's a black cable in here, and it's got a remote right there with a button. And then you see there's a red coiled cable, which has the full-size stereo plug and a 3.5, and then the little one, which is for mobile and stuff, has two 3.5s with the extra poles there for the microphone. Nice cables, by the way, but I already have my cables plugged in, so I don't want to have to keep unplugging and plugging in cables all the time, so I'll just use that. And that's another thing. Let me say, that is also another thing that also impressed me. Not only does this have two jacks, but the cable is removable. Now, I have another pair that was actually, it's cheaper now, but it was in this price range. Even the unit that I'm using right now with the boom microphone, the cable is not detachable. And these headphones on my head right now were 99 bucks. These are 30 something bucks. They're under $40, and it's got two detachable cables. If for some reason you own these for 20 years and you wore out the 3.5, you just go over to this. Or you pop in that adapter and then you have a 3.5 and then you go into that. But either way, you have an extra plug. And that also comes in handy for a number of reasons. These can actually handle two signals at the same time from two different sources, which is good if you're mixing and doing stuff like that. Uh, these also can be daisy chained, and I don't know where it is in the book, but I will show you. As you can see right there, it shows it with a strung up one source, which is probably supposed to be a phone, and then you plug it in and daisy chain these up to there. Um, Definitely, if you have a portable, amp or something, you can power like three headphones or more quite well, depending on what you have. I would probably recommend something like the iFi Hip DAC or the XDO XP5. If I'm saying that right, I don't have that one yet. I think I want to get that one. Or the X2 XP2, something like that with a little bit more, oomph to give your phone a little bit more oomph and make those sound fantastic. There you see, you can go right from the studio mixing, take your phone and go outside, get some fresh air, go for a walk, but please be safe. I'll read the specs off to you while we're looking at the Toucans themselves. Let's look at the side plate there because I absolutely love that design. Put it right like that. Get some focus in on that. Yeah. All right, let's look at the specs. Okay, you're getting a 50 millimeter neodymium driver. That's good. That is actually very good. That's something that you would get on a more expensive pair. A pair that was, say, I'm waving my hands around and this is a video and you can't even see my hands. That's something, let me see, I'll just do it like that. No, you get that on like more expensive pair of headphones, studio headphones, something like an Audio-Technica or something like that would have neodymium drivers, although those are 40 millimeter that they have. I think from 30 to 53 is like the perfect area for drivers for full-size headphones. I think when you go into bigger drivers, and there are bigger drivers out there, there's 70, and I think there's slightly above 70 I've seen. Um, sound tends to fall apart on something bigger. Now the ones that I have on me now right now are 53. Those are for gaming, so there's more of, depending on the source, there's more of a neutral sound to them. So I think they're tuned more for a neutral sound with some bass extension because it's a gaming headphone, which is excellent for these because these have an excellent bass extension and they do well for gaming as well. 20 to 20 kilohertz, 32 ohms, 110 decibels. The driver is PET, which is, a plastic driver. It's the film that most drivers are. I think if you look at every headphone made, roughly about maybe 89 to 90% of them will be PET or Mylar, which is a plastic. The maximum input power is 1600 milliwatts. And they have the 3.5 millimeter and the 1/4 stereo jack. The coiled cable is 6.5, which extends to 9 feet. And the portable cable, which I'll call it because it has the microphone for your phone, has a 4-foot straight cable. Okay, so they can be done, daisy chain. You have two sources can be in at the same time. You have two different jacks, so you don't have to keep using the same jack all the time. They have a lot of nice features there. They have a good driver. A lot of you are going to say, well, it's not beryllium. This is under $40. You're not going to get beryllium or titanium or a bio driver or a carbon driver or any of the other, fancy, keywords that are out right now. And, those have nice qualities to them, but we're talking about bang for buck right here. Comfort-wise, these are super comfortable. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, these things are super comfortable. The cushions on these are very comfortable. There's some extra padding up at the top here on the headband. These adjust in every direction, as you would expect. They twist and swivel in every direction imaginable. There's a nice adjustment right there that stays in place. That's definitely not going to fall down on you. There's metal reinforcement in that headband. There's some nice stitching right here. It says Toucans. There is on the left side, I don't know if you can see that, but the little braille thing so you can tell the left. Some manufacturers just do that. They don't put left and right, but you also got left and right on the ear cups on the inside too. They look stylish. I love this round style. Now there are other headphones that look similar to this, and the difference is I have other pairs. I actually have two other pairs that sound similar to this, that look similar to this. Now, what is the differences between Toucans is the tuning on these, much more control in that sub bass. The padding, much more softer, cushiony, stays. See how it's a rapid acting. It doesn't, it just stays put, but it doesn't put a lot of pressure on your head. Plus, there's some good flexibility with these too. I don't want to bend them out of shape because they fit my head perfectly at the time, even with a hat. Cool design on these. You get some nice padding. They're very comfortable. Build quality is the typical, studio type DJ headphone quality with the metal reinforcement. Hopefully some of them had plastic, which I didn't like. But this brand uses the metal reinforcement. It's got the pin in here. It's got the swiveling. There's this nice yoke, this nice wide yoke, nice round, you know, earpiece with the nice padding on it. That's very easy to put on. There's actually a notch somewhere over here if I could feel for it. And when you want to put them on, you just put it on that notch and you just rotate it, and it just, the pad just goes right on. So the pad changing on these is quite easy. I've tried everything that I could do. I didn't do the daisy chaining because I didn't have other people to hook it up, and I didn't have other pairs to, plug 3 in a row in. But I'm sure that works out fine. I did not do the 2 different sources because I didn't read that in the book until recently. I'll do that in the follow-up. I'll let you guys know how that is with some mixing. I'll do some mixing with these. I use these for editing. I use these for gaming. I use these for casual listening. Very nice. Put a lot of time in these. I use these actually until my the DAC amp that I had ran out of power. So I've logged in a lot of listening with these. I'm going to tell you right now, build quality, very good for the price. Comfort, very good for the price. I know the pads are easy to change. You're not going to want to change the pads. They're perfectly comfortable, unless you live somewhere where it's very hot and you can't have these leatherette tile. I know it's like vinyl, but this leather style might be too hot for some countries or something like that. Either way, very easy to do. Just remember, when you change the pads, you change the sound. So don't say, oh, this doesn't sound like that, because I put velour on it. Velour is going to change the sound completely. Closed back, but it does have above average soundstage. There's excellent imaging and details in these. I'll tell you right off the bat, obviously, as it says, there's bass on these. And the other pair that I had, there was bass on those too, and it was a lot of bass, and it was like sometimes it was overpowering bass. So if you're listening to the like tracks like Bury a Friend or Bad Guy or something like that that are just really bass boosted, or Macklemore's How to Play the Flute or something like that, those tracks are bass boosted, and if you have something that's overly bassy, it just becomes fatiguing and annoying sometimes. And I don't like the EQ. I'm going to tell you right now, every source that I usually do, I don't like the EQ. I don't mind pressing the bass boost occasionally because I do like bass, but I don't EQ. I like the EQ set on flat because I like to hear what the product sounds like, what the music sounds like. I don't want to add anything to it. I do that from time to time with Bluetooth stuff, but that's because it's Bluetooth, and Bluetooth, doesn't give you superior quality of like FLAC, although it does come close if you use an LDAC. That's a whole nother conversation. Um, so, and anyway, if you have something small like this, these is so small, you can just plug it right into the thing on the side there, get some of that adhesive tape and just stick it right there, and you're good to go. And then you got a Bluetooth pair of headphones that you can take with you anywhere. So these are so versatile in every way: studio, home, gaming, you name it, monitoring, editing. They fold this way. Any case that you have, that fits like a good size headphone, these are going to be able to be folded into that case. So that's good, definitely. Or a pouch if you have a pouch, but honestly, who wants to use a pouch if you're traveling? These, unlike the other pair, the bass isn't very thick. Music like that doesn't get muddy. There's some very good control on these. For a pair of PET drivers, there is some really good tuning to the driver on these. There's great control on the bass. Then we move into the mids. They got some warmth, but the vocals there are quite clear. Very, very nice. There's some emotion in there. Very good. Far more than I was expecting for this price. Highs are nice and crisp. I don't find them to be splashy. They have some good detail up there, and like I said, there's some good imaging details and above average sound stage. Um, I don't think I have anything in this price range that I could compare it to for soundstage, but I can definitely say for gaming, these would actually be very good for that. And I do RPGs, which have a lot of atmosphere, and you need that nice wide soundstage. And I usually use an open back, but these actually work out pretty good. Um, Actually, better than the $100 pair that I actually have on my head, soundstage wise. And overall, it's just a good headphone for the price. It has a lot of nice features. It comes in that nice box and the presentation, which I'll show you now, and we'll cut to that. Okay, I'm going to show you how these are packaged in the box. Usually this is done at the beginning, but I do everything differently. You see the plugs which are underneath are already out because you get that. And then this opens up with a nice little pull tab there. And look at that presentation. Here's your quick start guide right there on top. We'll put that off to the side. You get a good look at how these are in here. This nice silk everywhere. This is actually like a silky satiny material. It isn't that fake hard stuff that you see sometimes. Oh, it looks like, wait a minute, what is that? It's hard. It's like some kind of molded stuff. There's actually foam under here to protect it. You lift this up and your cables will be underneath it. And of course you get the nice headphones in there and everything else too. Quite a nice presentation. It's a unique box. The other pairs that I have that are similar to this, they came in a tiny box just squished in there. It's nice to see that they actually took the time to give you a presentation that actually exceeds like my T40 RPs that I have. That came in a tiny box, no extra pads, no anything. Those were, I think I paid $250 for those at the time. And I don't even have those anymore. I actually have the Daconis, and those also come in a small box too, which I love my Daconis. I'm not going to talk bad about them, but the packaging on them is minimalistic at best. And this is amazing for like 30 something bucks, this packaging. So anyway, I hope that this video has been informative. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I haven't made a video in a little bit of time. I've been sick. No, it hasn't been the virus. I just had an infection. I hurt my leg, and apparently the bone got infected and everything. And thank God that it's you know the way it is. It's healed. I'm better now. I'm getting over it. And anyway, I hope that you guys are safe and have a good 2021. And be safe, please. I'll see you somewhere out on the internet. Thank you.